Welcome to this week's installment of Confessions of a Fitness Professional. I'm your host, Andra Anderson, a certified personal trainer and group fitness professional since 2009, celebrating Sweet 16 this year. Some fun ideas for that. We're in the middle of February at the moment where I'm doing this podcast, and I think a lot of individuals assume that January is the busiest month for fitness, right? People, maybe even you, are making goals or resolutions and striving to be a better version of yourself. So a lot of people think start in January. You would start in January. However, in my 16 years in the fitness profession, I have found that January is often one of my slowest months for fitness. And that seems like it doesn't match up, right? Everybody's coming off of New Year's, a season of holiday and celebration, just sort of wanting to reinvent themselves, eat cleaner, move better, move differently. And no, February is so much busier than January. I might have people initiate conversations in January, but truthfully, I get ghosted most of the time, and then people will pick it back up in February or really March or April when summer is imminent and people have this idea of an aesthetic they're going for, and they're realizing, oh no, I've done nothing to achieve this. So truthfully, in the fitness profession, like if you were to look at a calendar year, I think August is probably the slowest month. Most people, at least my clientele, is looking at, going away. They're going to be away at the beach. They're going on trips. They're not focused on their fitness. Like at that point, they're taking a break. I'd say December is a very close second and January is a very close third. So August, December, and January, if you're a fitness professional, those are tough months to be a fitness professional. You sort of have to really beef up the rest of the year so that you can also take a break. For the longest time, I thought, I have to be busy all the time. If I'm not teaching, if I'm not moving, if people aren't coming to my classes, I'm not making money. And yeah, that's true to an extent, but I try to then make the times when people want to work out a lot heavier, offer more, do more things, have more events, have more classes, post more, do more groups, things like that. I've sort of learned how to ebb and flow with my clients, and then truly, I enjoy the downtime. I enjoy having fewer classes in December. I enjoy having fewer classes in August. It just makes it more fun for me, and I'm not stressing so much about, oh no, I'm not teaching any classes or people aren't coming to classes. I used to get so like upset or stressed when people would be like, oh, I'm going out of town for a week. I'm like, no, you can't. I need you. It's neat to kind of reframe that as you get a little bit more mature in your fitness profession and your business. And I'm sure that's true across different professions, but very true for fitness. Okay, so with all of that in mind, so in the last couple of weeks, I have had a ton of people reach out to me about getting healthier, starting a fitness routine, what should I do first, all of these things. So I thought it would be really great to do a podcast on, if I was starting a workout routine, and this doesn't have to be completely starting fresh. This could be diving back in, like, oopsie, I took a break. That's okay. Sometimes in your life, you need a break, and that's okay. You can come right back, dive right back into it. So if you are starting fresh, starting new, or you've taken a break and you're diving back in, I have 10 tips for you, 10 things that will give you kind of a roadmap, a clear plan, something to hold on to as you get back into moving your body more consistently. Okay, I know this can feel overwhelming at first, and most people, when they reach out, they want a list of like 8,000 things they can do. But I really start with one. I say start now. Don't wait until Monday. If you wait until Monday and it's Friday, for example, you're giving yourself 3 days of not doing anything when really you want to strike while the iron is hot. You want to hit it as soon as you have that moment, that realization of, you know what? I want to move my body. Do it that day. Start immediately. Do anything. Go for a walk. Drink an extra glass of water. One little thing that gets you in that mindset of being like, okay, this is who we are now. We We like to move our body. We like to take care of ourselves. We're starting right now. We're not starting on Monday. We're starting right now. I do these challenge groups, and it's really a challenge for me. So they have on-demand fitness sessions, and usually it's like a daily thing. So you would do a different fitness session every day. And I'll have people, I'll advertise it, 3 weeks before we have an official start date. And for the longest time, I would not reach out to everybody until like 2 days before. But now I noticed, okay, I'll have everything ready to go. So when that first person signs up, I'll get them into the group. I'll have something in there for them to do. It won't be the full challenge, but I'll have, a bonus session or a couple of bonus sessions, because I want to help you feel that excitement, and I want you to hit it when you're ready to hit it. Get it when you're ready to get it. So that's just a fun little thing I've learned. Okay, so start now. That's number one. If you, a moment that the day that you have that feeling of, I want to take better care of myself, I want to move my body more, I want to eat better, do it that day. Start that day. Does it have to be 100%? No. Add one little thing. Drink more water. Go to bed earlier. Walk 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Just do something, and that will help you get into the mindset of like, okay, this is who we are now. This is who we are now. All right, so that's start immediately. Number one. Number two, and some people have a hard time with this. For movement, I recommend walking or stretching to start. Try your best. Maybe you get really excited and you want to like dive into something like high intensity, hardcore, but try your best to start small. I know it's hard. Maybe you want to go hard or go home. Like that's the mentality. I'm so glad we are moving away from that mentality. Start with walking. Start with walking. Start with some stretching, some light stretches, just to kind of understand what your body mechanics feel like. Like, okay, if I do this stretch with my arm, bringing it across my body, how does that feel in my shoulder? How does that feel in my bicep? Does it feel good? Does it feel like I'm hurting it? Do I feel like I'm straining it? If I were to, can I grab my foot and stretch the front of my leg, my quads? Do I need to be on the ground for that? How's my balance feeling for that? So it really just gives you kind of an idea of your starting point. Where am I starting? Do things hurt? Do things feel good? Does it energize me? Does it feel like I'm straining it? Do I feel sore anywhere? What is it in my daily movement that I need to be mindful of as I am entering this new movement change, movement mechanics, whatever you might want to call it. So start with walking or stretching. And I have lots of videos for all of that. Walking is free. Just go do it. Walk around your block. If you work in an office, walk around the office. Just get up and do more of it. Walk the stairs. Park far away if you're going to a store in a parking lot. Park far away and make yourself walk in. Do a couple laps at the grocery store, right? People might look at you funny, but it's what I do. I love it. There are some stores now that are so huge. It's like a quarter mile to go around, and I love it. I love it. It's great, especially if it's like gross weather outside. Okay, so you're starting now. You're starting with walking or stretching, just understanding how your body moves and what it feels like. Number three, people always ask, what do I need? What equipment do I need to buy? Like they're ready to buy things and change into this new lifestyle. You really don't need anything to get started. However, I've learned that people want a list, so I'm going to give you a list. Okay, here's my recommendations for things if you are starting this movement methodology, if you're starting to add more movement into your life, some things to have at your apartment, your house, wherever you are, things that are easy to travel with. These are the things I recommend. Okay, a mat. Any kind of mat. It could be a yoga mat. It could be an exercise mat. You can go to Five Below and get one for $5. Target, Walmart, they have really inexpensive ones. I've been practicing a long time and I really like Liforme, Liforme, but it's an investment. I know a lot of people like the Manduka mats. They're also an investment. You don't need the top of the line, the best. Lululemon has a really nice mat. They are grippy, so if you are thinking you're diving into yoga, the grippy mats are gonna last you longer and you're gonna be less frustrated. I will say that. So if your movement methodology, your idea is I'm going to do yoga and I'm going to yoga classes, you're gonna want a non-slip mat. So the Liforme, the Manduka, the Lululemon Align mat, is it Align? Lululemon, I can't remember what it's called, but that is probably gonna do you better over time. It is a little bit of an upfront investment, but if you are game, go for it. There's sales all the time too. But if you're just looking to get started, do some extra movements, have something underneath you while you're stretching, go to Target, go to Walmart, get the $5 mat. Totally great. And truthfully, if you have access to a gym, they're gonna have all these things as well. Just bring a towel to put between you and the mat. Exercise bands, so resistance bands, stretchy bands. Now, the ones that are really the stretchy kind of plasticky material are gonna be the least expensive. And in this video, underneath the comments, I will put my recommendations for the kinds of bands that I send people. I will also give you a recommendation for fabric bands. So those stretchy bands that are kind of plasticky roll, and it can be frustrating when you're just trying to like do the movement and your band is rolling and it's hard to get on and hard to take off. The fabric bands are a little bit thicker and they don't move. They move with you. So you'll feel a little bit more successful, I think, using a fabric band, but I'll give you options for both. But any kind of loop band, resistance bands. I also really like the therapy bands, which are the open bands. They don't have a closed loop. Those are great for kind of stretching and testing the shoulders, working a little bit of the upper body. So all those things. And again, these are super inexpensive items. Your gym, if you belong to one, probably has them and you have access to them. But if you wanted to have your own little arsenal of things at home, this is what I would include. And then also a bench or a chair or couch, something where you can do some seated movements and something where you can hold on to for some balance movements. When I do like an intro to fitness, intro to working out series, I always have balance as part of it because balance really helps you figure out, what you need to work on, what you need to focus on, and it works the core as well. So that's it. A mat, some resistance bands, a chair or a bench, and you've got yourself the start of a really awesome home gym. And you can do a lot with those things. And those bands are so easy to travel with. So easy to travel with. Okay. So we're starting now. We're starting with walking or stretching. We're building our little home equipment arsenal. You notice I didn't say any weights in there. Not yet. Not yet. We start with bands, we move to weights. All right, this is really important. Number 4, have a goal in mind. So you can't achieve what you don't define. If your goal is like, oh, I just want to move more. Okay, what is more? How many times a week do you want to move? How many minutes of a day do you want to move? Really clearly define that goal. And I found, for myself and also coaching others, it's way more motivating and your discipline is much better if you have a specific goal that you are trying to achieve. So for example, I want to do 10 push-ups. Right now I can't do any. So I want to work toward doing 10 push-ups. So you think about what you would do to get those push-ups. I mean, you have to do the actual movement itself, right? Maybe you do some work to strengthen your shoulders, open your chest, strengthen your back. Maybe you do some things to work your calves so that they don't lock out on you. Maybe you do some grip things and work on your hands. So there's so many things that you can do to lead to those 10 push-ups. That's a great goal. And it's something that you can be excited about. And when you achieve it, you can be like, yes, I did it. Now let's do 20, whatever it might be. So it allows you to create a plan. It allows you to be specific. It gives you something to find discipline and find motivation. So have that goal. And if you have trouble thinking about what that goal is, reach out. I love doing that. I love goals. All right, so once you have that goal, number 5, we are starting small. We're not going to try to do 10 push-ups in one day. We will see how many you can do, how many good form push-ups you can do. And that will be our basis to figure out how long it's going to take to get to those 10 push-ups. But you're not going to try to do 10 push-ups every day. You're going to work toward that goal. You're working toward it. So start small, because if you go too hard or too big, the likelihood that you will burn out and say, screw it, I'm not doing any of this, is really, really, really high, really high. So start small. If you want to run a 5K, start by walking 15 minutes a day. You got to walk before you got that run, right? You got to start small. You got to start somewhere. You just have to start. Just start. With that, number 6, be patient. The people that, okay, I love and hate Instagram for this. There are some beautiful, strong, muscular bodies on Instagram. Like, love it, love that for you. The aesthetic is there. That does not happen overnight. Most of the people that are posting their beautiful, gorgeous, muscular bodies, it took them years of consistent work to get there. Their nutrition had to be on point for muscle gains. They had to get the appropriate amount of rest, and they had to work on building those muscles. They had to tear muscles down, build them up, progressive load. Like, it's a science, and it takes time. It takes time. So be patient with yourself. If you're going somewhere in 3 months, starting today, you are going to be a better version of yourself, but give yourself a little bit of leeway and grace and patience, because it might not be the exact aesthetic you're looking for. That might be next year's vacation or whatever it is that you're working toward. Not that I promote working for a vacation, but the reality is a lot of you reach out to me about that, and that's fine. That's you. That's totally fine. Happy to help you be a better version of yourself or whatever it is. Number 7, the first day. Remember I said start now? The first day is the hardest because it feels awkward. Your body is not moving the way in your mind you think you want it to move. It's hard. I love reminding myself of this. So I will get new certifications and things that are very not me, like not the way my body moves, so that I can remember what it's like to be brand new, not know how your body, feeling like an awkward baby deer in the movements. So my latest certification is this through Fit Pro programming called Balletone. I'm not a ballet dancer. I am not a dancer. Never did any of that stuff growing up. I do bar, but this is different. It's sort of like a cardio ballet kind of feeling. Very pretty, very fun, so freaking hard. So it starts slow, where you mark the movements and you understand what it is to open into second position and then reach up and over. That part I've got, the slow, intentional, and then it kicks up a notch. And all of a sudden you're going from here to here to here to here, and it's a lot. I love it. I love the way it feels, but I'm like half a pace behind the instructor, which is so fun. But you have to allow yourself for it to be hard. It's going to be hard. Nothing worth having is super, super, super easy, right? If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And if you want to make a change, it's going to be hard. So just go into it knowing that the first day, the second day, maybe even the first week will be hard. But then there will be this moment and you won't even realize what's happening, but it will just get better because you've gotten better, because you showed up and kept doing it. So I know from experience, because I know that awkward feeling will go away and I will be busting out those reps like nobody's business, because I'll keep working at it. Okay. Number 8, be consistent. Try your best. Allow yourself some rest times, but try your best to do a little bit of something every day. Maybe it's walking. Maybe it is going to bed early. Maybe it is a couple of reps of different muscle groups. You don't want to work the same muscle group super hard every day, but some kind of movement every day as you're getting started will help you move forward. Again, don't go hard and heavy, because the moment that you get really sore to the point that you can't walk, and I think some people probably still glorify that feeling, and I do too. Right now I'm pretty sore in my chest from doing push-ups in our boot camp last night, and that kind of feels good, but it's not prohibiting movement. I can still move, I just really feel the muscles. That's the sweet spot. You don't want to go so hard that you can't properly walk the next day. That means it was too much for you. And I know that's hard to hear, because you want to that sore feeling, I want to feel real sore. Yeah, you want to feel alive and a little ooh, that worked things that I haven't worked in a while. I'm realizing, oh no, I haven't done push-ups in a minute. But I don't feel like I'm prohibited from movement. I could do something today. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be crawling because it hurts so bad. You don't want to injure yourself, because then you can't do anything, right? There's that sweet spot. Okay, the last 2 are all about external help. Consult a professional. I know I feel like that it has changed, but some people say, oh, a trainer is so expensive. Maybe it's not. I have pretty affordable rates. And depending on what you're trying to achieve, like sometimes you could go in with a group and it's so much cheaper. Some people do buddy workouts, and that cuts the cost. So, and again, if you have a specific goal in mind, working with a professional who has trained other people, who reads about it, who obsesses about body mechanics and nutrition or whatever it might be, that's only going to help you get there safer and better and give you tips. So think about consulting a professional. It could be the best decision that you've made. And the last one is find a buddy. It's so much more fun when it's a social thing. That's why group fitness is my jam, because the moment where you see somebody, I'll give high fitness as an example, hit the burpee on the beat, like we had this celebration moment. It's so cool to watch your friends get after it, work hard, and achieve something. There's something so special about the social element of it. Now, I will say, I like working out by myself as well, but I have so much more fun when I'm with a group of people. So think about finding a buddy. Maybe there's somebody else who has a similar goal as you, or somebody who's just like, yeah, I can get out of my office chair and move around a little. Let's go for a walk. Walk and talk. Maybe that's the only time you have for yourself and you'd like to walk by yourself. That's totally fine. Listen to a podcast or music. But sometimes finding a buddy could be the key to unlocking what it is that you really want to see in yourself. And they can show you good things and they can congratulate you along the way. They can know what your goal is and be like, oh my gosh, you did it. Awesome job. And that just feels so good. So that's what I would recommend if I was starting or diving back into a workout routine. I will list all of those things on the comments underneath the video, as well as some suggestions for getting your home gym equipment started. And as always, if you ever have questions about those kinds of things, please reach out and we'll see if we're compatible to work together. If not, I have a great group of trainers that I know that might be a better fit for what you're looking for, and I'm very happy to do referrals as well. That's what we do in the mature group fitness profession and the fitness profession. We refer to other people when we're like, nope, can't do that, but somebody else can. So that's this week's confession. Thank you so much. I would love to know if you are getting started with a fitness routine, how it's going, if you took any of these tips, and if you're a fitness professional, what else might you add to this list? That's our confession. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.